the company.
All right, here we have Glenna Rice. Yay! How does it get into this? She is the Body Process Facilitator. She's been with Access for how many years, Glenna?
20, 21 years, I think. That's when I first started. I've been a facilitator for about since 2006, I believe.
All right. And
So,
Body Class Facilitator.
yes, since 2010.
Mm, Good 16 years plus, and many more.
Yes. So 16 years, yeah, that's wild. And,
Yeah.
yeah, and I've been coming to India since I think probably when I first started. It wasn't long after when I became a facilitator with body classes that I came to Mumbai was the first place I did a 3-day body class.
And we have one now coming up in Delhi from the
Yes.
7th to the 9th of August. So looking forward to the body class and the EMT classes that follow after the body class. Yeah.
Yes, 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 yes. So am I. Got my tickets.
Hey, how does it get there in this?
So I have a question for you. Now.
Yes.
Yes, Manish.
All right. So we just heard that you've been, facilitating access for 20 years and doing body classes for almost 16, 17 years. Tell us what has changed since you first started facilitating this class. How did it start? Where did you start? And where is it now?
The
What's
3-day
the
body
difference?
class.
Yes.
Um, hmm. Well, when I first started teaching it, there wasn't an advanced body class yet, and it was just called the body class. And there was 3 other facilitators at about that time, and then Gary started teaching the advanced body class. The how people receive is very different. How the bodies receive. There was a lot more resistance is kind of one way you could describe it. But the questions I used to get asked was like, my ankle hurts and I'm heavy and I want to lose weight and I have asthma. There was a lot of that kind of thing. Like, how do I change these things with my body? And now what I get is, what would it take to have more communion with my body? What would it be? What would it be like if I could listen to my body? What would it be like if I could have a greatness of embodiment or a joy of embodiment? So when I first started teaching the body class, we weren't even speaking about the joy of embodiment. It was just starting to bubble up in some of the more advanced classes that Gary Douglas and Dr. Dane Hare were teaching. And when that conversation started to occur on the planet, the body classes started to change because people had this opening, like this door opened to look at embodiment on the planet in a different way with joy. And the other conversation that was happening was like, what's your reality? Which was a big surprise when we first heard that too, which seems funny now because we've been speaking about, getting out of messed reality and creating beyond this reality and having your reality. But that was a new conversation also. So joy of embodiment and a reality that works for you. It's your reality, your life, you're living your reality with your body on the planet. A lot more of this ability in conversation about creating with your body and not against it is available more now too. So those are some of the things that are popping. So what is joy of embodiment?
Oh, that's very interesting because, years ago when I first heard Gary speak about the body classes, he was like, yeah, many people don't even have the awareness that they're not their body. Like they try and slam everything into the box of their body and
Right.
function from there. And if you look at it at India, it's a very different flavor of it. Like, not to say it's right or wrong, but let's say if you've been part of any spiritual practice or religion in India, there's this point of view that, you are more superior, and then your body is just this lesser thing that will just, experience pain and this, that, and the other. But once you kind of elevate, you can go to heaven, which is such an interesting idea because that does not really allow to even have the possibility of joy of embodiment or the pleasure of having a body.
Yeah,
Would you like to
exactly.
speak to that?
And that comes up a lot in the classes. It's not just unique to India, by the way. It is very, very much all the major religions kind of have that point of view. Most of the big ones on the planet, which we all know about, have that point of view that you embody your souls in your body. You're not an infinite being. You die. You work hard and suffer in this life. Suffering is really popular, and you suffer, and then you die, and then you go to some nirvana or heaven or something like that. And that story, which is perpetuated to all of us on this planet, even if you're not religious, you know that story, stops the ability to even perceive the body from what it truly is with you, this creation with. So you, as an infinite being, are you bigger than your body? Is your body inside of you, or are you inside your body? Which feels lighter when you ask the question, am I in my body or is my body? Am I in my body or is my body inside of me? Now, most people will get the lighter one, is that my body is inside of me. You are much greater and bigger. Your energetic essence, your infinite being is much bigger than the body you have embodied on this planet. When you embody on this planet, you embody the entire reality, not just your little teeny body. But it is a big part of it, because you are creating with your body as an infinite being with your body on this planet. And when people start to see that and recognize it, and it's often a very new concept when you come to a body class. You may have just never heard it before or just heard it in some other previous class. The space that your body starts to occupy is different. Your ability to listen to what it's talking to you about starts to change. You can hear it better because you're not entrapped in it. It's part of you. And it creates, when you're creating with your body, everything gets easier. There's an elegance to life. When you choose things, the results are greater and easier to show up because your body's working with you. And what does that mean, creating with your body? It means asking it questions when you choose things. Like when you choose to eat anything. Body, would you like to eat this? Yes or no? And then you're looking for what's light or heavy for your body. Simple things like, what would you like to wear today? Body, would you like to go work in India? Would you like to go teach a body class in India? Yes or no? I have to include my body because my body's getting on that plane. It's flying for 24 hours or longer. It's a long trip to get to Delhi from San Francisco. So to not include it is almost erroneous to me now. I don't even know how we can go through life not including our body and asking it. Because when I ask body, would you like to go to India? Are you okay with the flight? What would it take for us to get a seat that's wonderful for us? And I start getting upgrades. And if I can't get an upgrade, I get in a really good seat with a couple seats empty next to me. The body starts creating with me with the asks that I am requesting.
Awesome. Let me ask you one more thing in this context. What you're talking about is this space of creation with the body, including the body. And I do remember when I first came to the very first body class, one of the biggest challenges I had was that, when my body was in pain and it was hurting a lot, I would not even lean into the direction of asking it a question because it's communicating through pain. And I know that that shows up for so many people when they're just starting to include with their bodies, work with their bodies. Over the period of time, yes, I can safely say a lot of the stuff that I perceive through my body right now is an awareness of not even just other bodies, but what's occurring on the planet and the future, etc. But that might be even an advanced conversation for now. Let me just backtrack a little bit. A lot of people have hesitance of resistance or talking to the bodies because they're right now communicating using pain. So what would you say to that? Still going in that direction, working with the pain, or asking the body when, quote unquote, you may not be in the best place to start including the body to create, but you're in right now a lot of pain or sickness.
Pain is a really interesting word. It's one word, and in most languages it's just one word, dolor in Spanish, Schmerz in German, pain in English. One word to describe a million different energies and nuances and injuries and disease states that our body creates, or we create with our body, or that show up, however we want to look at it. We have one word that describes it, which is really limiting. And that word holds so much judgment and points of views for everybody. There's people that have high pain tolerance, people that are really sensitive to pain. You show up your body with, and you show up different ways with that word. So if you can start being a question, because what pain actually is information your body's giving to you about something. Now in Access, we know it's not just a physical something. It can be other people's points of views. You can be picking up other people's bodies' pains. In fact, I do that quite well. I pick up other people's bodies. I'm aware of them. I don't take it on, but I'm a physical therapist. It has totally helped me expand my practice. I can get a better history from a body, from what my body tells me about their body, than from the medical charts that I'm supposed to read. So it's something you can use to your advantage. And because I see it from this other point of view, it's not anything like what I used to perceive pain as. So yes, it can be an injury. You can have an injury and feel what we call pain. But that is still information your body's giving to you about something. The difficulty is the way the medical profession is, the way this world is. Pain and suffering is very valuable, and the medical profession takes your awareness away from you and tells you what's wrong. So that information is never interpreted well, or rarely do we get that. But if you break your leg, which creates pain, that pain is the information that your body is giving to you around that event is my bone's broken, do not move me. Don't move me, don't disrupt it, I need to heal this. So it creates this whole energy of you not moving your broken limb so it can heal it. And how does it give you that information? Don't move me. Every time you move it, it screams at you, stop. And then we say that's pain. It's actually just, it's a totally different energy than just pain. There's a lot more going on. That's with an injury. When you start to become more aware of what these sensations actually are, I mean, what I do is just body, what's that? What is that? I'm just curious, a little annoyed that it's getting so loud. What's that? And then the information, it may come right away, it may just disappear, or it may take a few days or a week or maybe even 6 months before I get really clear on what that is. I can give an example. Would you guys like an example? It just is occurring?
Sure.
Okay. So I've had knee pain. Right. So from this reality's point of view, from our messed reality, I would have gone to a doctor, probably got diagnosed with something like a meniscal tear or something like that, because it's kind of how it's presenting. I do have a pretty good background in being able to assess knee stuff. I knew it wasn't. Physically, there's nothing wrong with my knee, but it got really intense. And I was like, so in English, the word need and the word knee are very similar. So your body can speak to you and get your attention by making parts of your body that can rhyme with something or sound like something loud to you. And when it gets loud, we describe that as pain. So I was like, okay, what do I need? Am I needing something? Is someone needing me? None of that was helping. And then it was like need and tug, which is a different energy. Need and tug is when you pull something you really require to create something greater to you. You need and tug it, not from neediness. That was lighter, but it wasn't changing it. Finally, we were talking about advanced body classes just a couple weeks ago in Istanbul, the advanced body class, and they were talking about places on the earth needing our energies, what we can give to them to contribute to the earth with our bodies. And my knee pain was just changed. And I was like, oh, the earth is needing and tugging me. And the knee pain went away. It had been bugging me for probably 4 or 5 months, on and off. It was gone. And now when it pops up again, I'm like, okay, who's tugging me? And do I want to go? Do I want to contribute to that? Do I have to go there, or can I contribute where I'm at? And I had just been tugged to work on horses at El Lugar, in the resort that Gary Dane here have down in Costa Rica, a lot of other people. So I was tugged there, and then I was tugged to Istanbul, and India's tugging me also. What it's tugging me for, I don't know. I don't have a clarity on that. I just know I've been tugged. My body is required there for something to contribute. And when I get that awareness, the knee pain changes. It's not an injury. In this reality, I would have thought it was. How's that?
Wow.
That's wonderful. Thank you.
So, Glenna, just a thought, are diseases also a way of the body asking for rest?
They could be. They could be many things. Every disease has a different creation, the point of creation. It's in the POC and POD, our clearing statement. The point of creation for any dis-ease that you've been creating is different for everybody. So yes, some people can have the only time they allow themselves to rest is if they're ill, so they'll create illness to rest. Because the body knows if it creates illness, it'll get to rest because that one you'll listen to, right? People that are really hard workers that work their fingers to the bone usually have to get really sick to stop what they're doing physically. So that could be it. But I wouldn't assume ever that it was that for anybody until I've asked a question. Each person has to, the questions you ask are unique to the situation or the person that's showing up in front of you. And a lot of dis-ease, the point of creation wasn't even yours. Like if you had a mother that would work all the time and the only time she got to rest was like maybe going into the bedroom with a migraine, you might create migraines because you bought that point of view that that's how you get to check out for a few days. And I've had people change their migraines by seeing that creation in their life, seeing how their mother created, and probably their grandmother and great-grandmother too, and changing that and realizing, oh, I could just choose to rest. I don't have to do anything. There's no requirement of sickness or illness or migraines or dis-ease states. I can just go, oh, I'd like to rest now. Okay, let me change my schedules around and create that. What would it take to create that? And then they'll probably get bored in an hour or two after resting because they're probably one of those massive creative people that couldn't sit still anyway. And they wouldn't have to have the migraine with it.
Yeah. Could you talk a little bit on mimicry, on duplicating, replicating people around
Sure.
and with our bodies?
So we mimic other people's, often their pains, pathways, and realities. It can be other things. We can actually mimic things that are spectacular too. We tend not to. You don't see that as much. So like this would be this example with the migraine that I made up would be what that could be. You see your mother creating something in her life. You look at it, you go, that's so weird. Why would mom be doing that? Energetically, you're not necessarily having a cognitive conversation about it, but you, as the infinite magical psychic being that you are and be, you go into your mother's reality and universe and body and check out what's going on and try to figure it out. You're confused. You're trying to figure something out about what they're creating. And in that moment, you get it. You duplicate it. You mimic how she's creating it because you're trying to understand it. Now, we do have body processes in the body class, the biomimetic mimicry body process that helps undo that for all the different times, because you're not going to just do it once. You could do it 100 times a day when you're a 5-year-old with your whole family, your brothers, your sisters, the kids at school, the teachers, because you're trying to, like a lot of us don't know how this reality works. We don't know how to create our own reality because no one suggested we could or should, and we don't know how this reality works because it doesn't make any sense because it doesn't really work that well for us. And we try to figure it out. And one of the ways we have this ability to mimic other people's pains, pathways, realities, but you could mimic their greatness. You could see something great and you don't have to take on anything else but that greatness. And like, I'll have that, please. I'll have that. I've done that many times watching Gary Douglas and Dane when they're teaching and facilitating. Just do something spectacular, have a spectacular awareness or energetic something. And I'm like, whoa, okay. I'll have that too, please. But I'm not going to go in and duplicate everything about them. Just that energy that's beautiful, you can have it this way. So this is a capacity that we usually use against ourselves when you start to create with your body and you're creating your reality. Could you use a capacity like that to create a greater possibility in your life? That's my question. What would it take for my life to work for me greater than I could imagine? Great question to ask.
Wow. Oh, that's so nice. Yes. So, Glenna, with the body class, what I have, seen with me, when I chose the first, I had huge resistance for the body class. I mean, Could you talk a little bit more on why people have a resistance to coming to a body class?
Yeah, and there are, it's interesting. Usually there are people that have really great abilities with bodies. I've seen that. The people resist it, and it's like the last class they ever take in Access is they take everything else and finally go to the body class because it's a prerequisite to go to something else. When Monish brought up like the pain, we resist that. We resist the pain. We resist awareness sometimes. People sometimes have a point of view that if they give up this control of their body, that everything's going to just get awful. The body, you're going to grow 3 heads and be sick all the time or kill people. I don't know. They have these strange points of views that if they don't completely control their body, and the body class is about getting out of controls with your body and receiving. It's like the bars. If you've had your bars run, people resist the bars too. Access is one modality, and I've done a lot of different modalities that includes the body. That actually has classes just for the body, not for thinking about the body, not for doing some, exercise for the body or getting spiritual with your body, but just for the body. And that can be intimidating because the change you're going to get is huge. So maybe sometimes people just have to be ready for that. Is now the time? I have no point of view if they're resistant. If you are resistant, maybe ask a question. What are you resisting? If you took the class, what would that create? If you took a 3-day body class, or a body process class, or a bars class, what would that create? What would your future be like in 5 years, 10 years, 100 years? What would your body be like? And some of the disease states and the pains and stuff that we've created, we love them. They are valuable in so many awful ways, and we tend to love the stuff we hate the most. So those things in your life with your body that you hate, like the eczema or the back pain or the digestive stuff, all those weird, crazy diagnoses you've gotten, somewhere they're valuable in really weird ways that are probably not cognitive, and you can resist changing that. Sometimes you have to look at, what do I love about this? What do I hate about it? What do I love to hate about it? And uncreate and destroy, right, wrong, good, bad, POD, POC, all 100 shorts, boys, pill, bads, creations, bases, and beyonds, everything that is. And it's okay. You'll know when you know. It's not a requirement to you live your life and go to a 3-day body class. You can have a great life not going to one, and you can have a great life if you go to one. What works for you? What would you like to choose?
Definitely a body class. I mean, what I've seen when I started including the body, there was less of the mind chatter dictating my life.
Yeah.
The awareness, you just glide into awareness when you just include the body. And I mean, that's been such a blessing for me.
I have a friend of mine gave me a little quote for the body class years ago, and it was like, going to the body class is like on a busy street, coming up to each light, and it turns green as you approach it, and you just keep going smoothly forward.
Oh, so true.
An elegance. The body class is, creating the greatest results with the most ease.
One of the things I noticed recently is Gary sent out an invite. Gary Douglas, the founder of Access Consciousness, he's doing a telecall for bodies at home with your body. And the simple invitation of how it came across is just one sentence. He's asking a question. Does your body need this?
Yeah.
And I thought it was incredible. Nothing else. Just an open-ended question. Does your body need this?
And that's a great question to ask about the body classes. If you're, in India right now, contemplating, like you're getting a little pulled to the classes. The body classes pull your body because it's a class for your body, which is a unique pull. It's not cognitive. And does your body need, do you need this? Does your body need this? Is a great question. And look for, and yes, no. And whatever feels lighter. And then you can act on it or not. Just because you get a yes doesn't mean you have to go. This one, there's lots of classes coming up. There will be more. I may be back again after this one.
How does it
All
get
right, so
done?
let's do something even more practical and fun. Is there anyone here present who's never been to a body class, like completely first time? And would you like to come on and ask Glenna a question? Because some of it might even seem like or sound like people talking who've already been to the body class, and they're talking about already what's going to occur in the body class. So who here is a first timer that would like to ask a question to Glenna?
Anybody? Maybe I see a lot of names that are familiar. We could pretend you're a first timer. So if you were a first timer and you've never been to a body class, what would you ask me? If you go back to your early years before you'd ever been to a body class.
I'll be the first timer here.
Okay.
So Glenna, what is this about that you hear about receiving, that it increases your receiving when you do the body work?
That's not an easy question to just answer in 2 seconds. So in this reality, there's not a lot of receiving. There's a lot of doing. There's a lot of give and take. There's a lot of force. There's a lot of control. Receiving isn't any of those things. Receiving, to truly receive, being is required. Being you, having you, being aware of you, not resisting who you are. With resistance, receiving isn't possible. So the resistance that's just natural to us by growing up on this planet in this reality that we've seen and duplicated and mimicked, and it feels awful and normal and required, isn't as available, that resistance, in a body class. You start to receive the body processes, people put their hands on your forehead and your chest. I'm doing some clearings, your facilitator is changing things, people are asking questions, and like your barriers, the things you push up against, you can't hold them in place as strongly, and little cracks open.
It melts.
What's that?
It melts.
I'm not sure what word you said.
It melts.
It melts. I thought you said ick melts, and I'm like, ick? It melts. Yes, it melts. It cracks apart. The doors open. And they're energetic processes, and this energy, you start to receive something different that starts to work with your body and change things, often things that you thought were impossible to change. My son was 13, and it was one of the first or second body classes Gary ever facilitated. And my son had a mole on his cheek or chin that he hated. It wasn't huge, but it wasn't lovely, and he was 13 and he wanted to be cute now. This new world was opening up for him. And the woman did the body process, I think it was demolecular manifestation, like DMMD, on, yeah. Now, the mold didn't change then, but he got off the table, and my 13-year-old son was tearing up and was like, "Mom, she touched my mole, and it was so kind." And so he received something energetically that had not been available to him before, and it shook his world, and it was beautiful. I'll never forget that moment. And I mean, he showed me what these body classes were. I wasn't a facilitator of it yet. And what was possible, when you could receive. And at 13, he was just going into those teenage years where he was about to resist everything. And this may have mitigated that a bit. He may have been less resistant to receiving. Now he's 32, just turned 32, and he is a lovely, kind man. And he received a kindness that day. I would like to say that the body class totally contributed to what that was.
Wow.
He is now. So what is receiving? It's going to be different for everybody. We all receive somewhere, somewhat. What don't you receive? What would you like to change with receiving? And if you did receive more, what would that change in your future?
This is incredible, Glenna, because one of the things you said without saying it in that story is how much of the stuff we actually lock into our bodies that we are not even aware. I mean, Gary always points out, okay, so what have you locked in your body? What have you locked in your body? And when I first heard about it, I'm like, what are you talking about? I don't know what I've locked in my body. But every time he would run that process or give a new body process, it would be like letting go of something that you didn't even know cognitively that was there.
Right.
And also, is that a way of receiving? Letting go of the old
Yeah,
letting go of something you don't even know you have going
ab-
on with your body.
absolutely. Yeah, letting go allows you to receive, absolutely. And the body locks up and it also locks you out sometimes because you're requesting that. So sometimes changing your point of view can allow you to receive more with your body also.
Wow. So,
There's,
Glenna,
oh,
yeah,
go ahead. No,
sorry.
go on.
So I guess people also want to know, is the body class emotionally demanding, physically, mentally? Is it demanding?
It's not physically demanding. I mean, sometimes the body process, the energies, if they're brand new to the energy, can be a little intense. But no, you got to lay down and receive in the blankets and pillows, all cuddled up with someone gently putting their hands on you in different
Which can be
points.
very difficult for India.
It hasn't. I don't find, well, maybe it's just my classes are unique, but I mean, I've done probably one or two classes a month or more, for years, 60, so a lot. Hundreds and hundreds of people have been through this class I've facilitated, and I haven't really seen that it's been difficult. I mean, somebody a little bit, but it just takes a second usually to me go over and put my hands on them and ask them a question, and it changes. Sometimes they don't like their partner. That's usually what shows up, and energetically you pick your partners. You usually picked them before you even showed up. Some people get that and they're like, woohoo, I can't believe I'm working with you, I thought about that last night. And then others are like, a lot of resistance, but that's usually because you and that person are going to change something huge. And so sometimes I have conversations with people about partners. I don't switch you up. There's usually some kind of a clearing we can do to change it. That's more of the resistance is more people and their points of views, their fixed points of views about things. But touching a body, I mean, you're not touching, you don't have to touch skin. You can do it through clothes and through blankets. And it's such a kindness and a gift. And I don't think people showing up to a body class aren't kind. Like there's a kindness there or they wouldn't have chosen the class. They would truly be in resistance. People that care about bodies, even a little bit, are the ones that choose to go to body classes. Even if they're not aware that they care about bodies, somewhere in there they have that. At least in the classes I've seen. I have not had anybody fight me on this. Now, some of the points might be a little uncomfortable, but we can always work with that. I do not want anyone to ever be uncomfortable in a class, because then you stop receiving. So if someone is uncomfortable about touching, the back of someone's hips or something like that, we work with that. I can help you. That's, why we have facilitators in these classes. And no one's forced to do anything they aren't choosing. Consent is very important in all things.
Exactly. But sometimes I
And
guess, it's the pairing as well. It is so unexpected. You go to a class, it's not necessarily people that you know, and then you have to receive from someone. And probably that opens up a whole new world for you. I guess it did for me. I mean, I remember the class that I took in Copenhagen with you.
Mm.
Uh, I had huge resistance of men at that point in time. And you paired me up with a man, and I was like, okay, what's right about this? I'm not getting. And, you know, and I overcame the resistance. And that was one of the really nurturing classes, I would say, that I received. Uh,
What you're asking to change. I mean, you may not have asked it cognitively and out loud, but you were resistant to men, and that changed for you.
yes.
Being resistant to men, if men are awful, being resistant to them, you can never see the awful ones. And if men are kind, being resistant to them means you never can receive the kindness of men. So resistance is never a great way to create your life. Awareness is. You have more awareness now.
Yeah.
And I know that I do try to do at least one advanced body class every year, just as my spa day for my body, and then two this year.
Lovely.
Whoever I get paired with over the years, you always enjoy seeing that person again. There is something really cool that you create. Like Harry, who's helping with the tech at this class, I was paired up with him in Australia many years ago, and you just mentioned Harry wants to be on the team. I'm like, Harry, yeah! And it was just those 3 days of working with him that you change. There's a creationship that shows up. It's not like a relationship. It's just there's a unique way you get to be with someone for 3 days that you energetically we're paired with. Because what I do, so those of you who I've never been to a body class, what the hell is she talking about? I look at the people in the room and I look at people and then I look around and someone else pops and then I go, those two in my head, yes, no, yes, yes, poof, and they're together. And then I put the people together that way. So it's they're choosing energetically. There's some future they're creating with the class together. And we don't know what that is, but sometimes after class you get it. But people are, it's a really sweet thing that shows up. It's different than any other kind of friendship or creation, way you work with people in this world. It's very different. I'll always see that woman or man that I was paired up with in another class and just walk right over in the best hug ever. Like you're seeing your long lost partner in a body class. Maybe we need a whole new name for it.
Lovely. Someone had a question here.
Yeah, I saw that.
Just put her hand down. Yeah.
Whoever had the question.
Russian? Was it Russian?
No, I don't see them on here anymore.
Oh, okay.
Anyone else have a question for me?
Yeah.
Sorry, I had a question. I'm sorry. This is Rashim here.
Rashim.
So actually, I'm a first timer. I haven't never done about body process, although I have heard a lot about it. I'm just planning to do it. Just want to know, like, can you do it on yourself?
Yeah, that's a question that comes up a lot. Yes, you can run all the body processes that you will learn. Sometimes it's not as easy to get to your, if it's touching on your back, to use your own hands on yourself. They don't work as dynamically, because if you have the two people there, it creates a greater energy. When when the receiving and the gifting creates something unique. When you're paired up with someone and working, you are receiving and gifting at the same time. So you do a session, you get a session. When it's just you, that's not there. So there's not the extra energy, but it's fabulous. I mean, I run body processes on myself all the time, probably daily. There's facelift is one of them. You get the facelift energy. You can get all the facelift energy. You don't have to do the facelift class to get it, because we do have it all in the body class. I run that on myself. MTVSS is one of the body processes that you get in this and in the foundation, and you can run that when you're going for a walk, exercising in the gym. So I run them on myself. I run them on my cats. In my mom trade. Yes, I totally encourage you to use this class to your advantage. You get a great manual with like 60 processes to take home with you that you can run on other people and play with yourself also. So yes.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you.
And just some of them work more dynamically in pairs and don't really run very well on yourself, and some of them really do run quite well. So you can play around with it. You can turn them on and see what shows up. Thank you for that question. Anyone else?
Yeah, what about the kids? Are they allowed to the class, or is it just for the adults?
Please bring your children. Children are free up until 16. 16 they're half price, 16 to 18, and then after 18 full price. Or 16 and 17 is half price. Once you turn 18, you're not a kid anymore, officially, and you pay for the full class. But I have kids in class. It's nice if they've had and been exposed to, depending on their age, the foundation class before. And they need to have an adult with them, like their parent or a relative. Sometimes someone who's a friend of someone can bring their friend's kid, but usually it's family members that are in the class too. Especially if they're little, they can't just come. Don't drop a baby off without the parent. But I might totally love that. So I have been known to carry babies around class as I'm facilitating. So I'm thrilled when children come. They contribute, they have less points of view, their resistance isn't as extreme often, and they will change the adults just by being in the room, not even receiving the processes necessarily. Gary Douglas was brilliant when he created that possibility for us parents, because my kids came to every class I could bring them to, and the ones I facilitated also. And that changed my world. Theirs also, but it changed my world because they started creating differently and receiving more. And they stopped getting sick. Oh, that was the best. If you're a parent and your kid would get sick, and I was self-employed, so if I missed work for a sick kid, I lost money too. It was a stressful experience, and they really stopped having those colds kids get, or they'd be really short. We could ask questions and change them. There's some body processes that do contribute to changing cold and flu symptoms. So yeah, it's a gift in so many ways that are unimaginable.
I guess it goes without saying, once you take the class, you can use these body processes on all of your family members. I mean, they don't have to come to the class to receive that. So there's a big possibility after the class with that.
Yeah, and in the class, we'll speak a lot about how you ask the bodies what they want to receive. So with your family members, you want to ask if their body, what it wants to receive, if it can receive it. Some of them may be a little, if they haven't had any access before, some of the body processes may be not kind for them to receive, and other ones will just change the world. So you need to have some awareness of the body class. Because, yeah, there's a lot of processes in there, and not everybody's ready to receive all of them all at once. How's that? But please run them on your family. Let's change the world. What is the planet asking for bodies to be different, to be much more of a contribution? And if you've taken this body class, you become that energy. It is more of a contribution to this planet with every step you take.
Lovely. Glenna, what's your favorite body process right now?
Oh, wow. You know what my go-to is always? I'm just going to say this one. I could give you 10 of them popped in my head. But the one that I love to receive from someone else and to run that I run the most is MTVSS, which is in the foundation class. It was one of the very first body processes, and it is so yummy.
Lovely.
All right, I got one last thing to ask before,
Okay.
we top of the hour. Bodies and money.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people sometimes say, oh, I really want to go to this class, but I don't have the funds right now. So can you give a question to everybody who might be in that situation? What can they ask of their bodies to create for this class, like with total ease?
Well, one of the old school questions from way back when is if I choose this class, will it make me more money? It's a great one. If I buy this, will it make me more money? If I buy you is a thing you can do with anything you purchase, but if I choose this class, will it make me more money? So money, you as an infinite being don't get money, don't need money. When you don't have a body, money is not relevant. But when you have a body, when you are embodied, your body requires money. Requires money. It doesn't only require money, but for the house you live in, the food you eat, the clothes you wear, all of those, we usually purchase them. Sometimes they're given to us. Maybe you live in a house you didn't have to pay for. How'd you get so lucky? But money creates greater ease with you and your body in your life. If there's something your body desires, you can ask it to contribute. Body, how can you contribute to us generating the money, receiving the money, actualizing the money that would contribute to this class? And if you give a yes, like yes, body wants to go. It's a yes. Everything's a yes. Yes, yes, yes. And you're getting pulled. And yeah, and then the only thing in your head is, I don't have the money for this class. I get it. I have been there. I'm still there with some classes. Okay. I'm choosing it. I am choosing it today. I am going, no matter what it takes, I'm going to that class. And that demand, that need and tug, has for me and many people that have come, just money shows up in interesting ways. Someone in your family goes, oh, I have this money, or you get the courage to ask somebody in your family, I really want to go to this class and I'm short the money, and or you get a raise at work. Or for me, one of the things that happened was that my ex-husband was not paying child support for quite a while. There was a big back payment. His engineering company was working with the U.S. government, and because he hadn't paid child support, it was on his record. And they wouldn't give him a contract, so he had to pay me to get his DARPA contract. And I got this big big chunk of money, a check from him, just as I was asking to go to a 7-day with my children, like about 2 weeks before. So the universe will contribute to organizing. It may take a minute. It might have to manipulate and go through weird channels to get that to you. But when you ask and demand, no matter what it takes, I'm going to get the money for this class, no matter what it takes, I'm going to this class, then the magic can show up. But you got to choose it. If you're coming from the point of view, I don't have the money, that's what you're creating. And you're not going to come to the class. If you're coming to the point, okay, right now I don't have the money yet. I get that. Shit, I don't have the money. I want to go to this class. Okay, no matter what it takes, I'm going to choose this class. No matter what it takes, I'm going to go to this class. And in that moment, when you do the choice, is when you start to create. Choice creates. And you don't have to go to the class. You can just do this and see what shows up. If you truly have a demand in your world. And it's not see what shows up. It's see what you can create that will blow your mind. It'll be
So, Vandana has a question, and then I was just wondering, Glenna, if also it's possible for you to do a short energy pull to receive the class, to show up for the class, to make the class possible for whoever's choosing to have it.
okay.
Yeah.
We can do something.
So,
Vandana.
Question?
my question, Glenna here.
Go
Can you
ahead.
hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so my question is that I wanted to go for a holiday to Europe, and I asked Body, if you want to go for a holiday, let's do it this time, make this much money, and let's go and have fun. And that month, boom, I created for a business class ticket, the whole shebang for a great holiday in Europe. To 2, 3 places. I went to Brussels, I went to Paris, and Barcelona. Having said that, my body was in pain throughout the holiday. I was in agony. My feet were swollen up in the first 2 days. And I could barely walk from those cobblestones. And being in India, now, at least I'm not used to it. I forgot about going to my
I think you need to get closer to the mic. I'm not hearing everything you're saying.
You're not audible, Vandana. You're not audible.
now. I wonder why.
Increase your volume.
Increase your volume or be closer to the mic.
Volume, and I've been on a call earlier. Now, can you hear me?
That's
Yes,
much better.
it's
Yeah,
better.
you need to be closer. Yeah. So what's your question about? So what I got so far is you went on this amazing holiday and everything hurt and your feet were swollen.
Can you hear me better now? I'm just
Yes.
changing and going closer to the Wi-Fi.
Yeah. So what's your question?
My question is that my body created this holiday. It created the money for the holiday. And then my body was in agony during the holiday and in a lot of pain. And I'm in pain even since I came back. My feet are swollen and it was hot as hell over there. We couldn't get out much. And I wonder why the body created this. I don't know what it was.
Okay. So why is not the best question to ask? Why did the body create? Because that just makes your body wrong and you wrong and it creates you in a loop. Why is the most ineffective question to get information there is? It's a way to make people judge, really. It never gives you information. Sometimes it gives you a little clarity, but it doesn't give you information. So what is the body creating? What does the body require? Did your body require something? Does it require something now that could change it? What would it take to change this? What is this agony? It's pain. It's information. What is it? Body, what is this? What are you showing me with this agony during my vacation? We go on a vacation. You create this crazy. What's up with that? Body, what is it? Without being a wrongness. And what would it take to change it? Maybe it's not even yours. Did you ask who does it belong to?
I have been doing that.
Yeah, does that change it at all?
PBSS.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was quite a grueling time.
And how many conclusions about the holiday did you have before you went, or expectations about it? That then you didn't. Then when you have an expectation about something, it's never going to show up that way, and then you're always going to be disappointed in this reality that your expectation of what you wanted it to look like. I mean, what your body wanted a holiday. What did it want to create doing it? Did it want to sit in a room that was air conditioned and enjoy the people you were with, or have some good food brought in from one of the delivered. What?
Yeah, I think my expectation was that it wouldn't be so hot. It would be nice and cool in Europe, and it was boiling. It was 35 degrees.
You were in Europe during the heat wave.
Sorry?
You were in Europe during the heat wave.
Yeah, just I just came back a week ago.
Yeah, so it was the hottest Europe's ever been. Do you think your body was contributing to other bodies? Where do you live normally? Are you in Delhi or Mumbai or?
Mumbai.
Yeah, so you're used to real hot weather. Your body's.
Because I'm mostly indoors in my air-conditioned.
But your body lives in a part of the planet all the time that is humid, hot, extraordinarily hot. And then Europe, all those bodies in Europe aren't used to that, and you were there. What was your body contributing to all those bodies? How many bodies were cooling down and helping survive the heat wave because your body is familiar with that? Is that a possibility?
That's a possibility because there are no fans also in the homes in Europe.
Yeah, I know. I live in a part of the world that's kind of similar. We don't have air conditioning here, and when it gets hot, we're like, we should have air conditioning. And then it's like 3 days, it goes away, and you forget until the next summer, and you have 3 more hot days. So everything your body is still doing to contribute to those European bodies and help them with the heat, would you be willing to ask your body to stop that and pull out of their bodies? They're not having a heat wave anymore. It's not required. And thank your body for being amazing enough to do something like that for millions of Europeans during their extraordinary heat wave. And did you get pulled for that? Is it possible you picked that vacation because your body could contribute? Could you be that potent? Nah.
Possibly. My daughter professor probably went to contribute to her also.
So how are you feeling now? Any different?
Yes, I feel lighter.
Yeah, and get your feet up above your heart, lay down, put them up on pillows, move your ankles around, let that swelling go down, and just keep acknowledging and pulling out of their worlds.
Thank you.
Thank you for the question.
Well, Vandana, we would love to see you in the class if you can hop in.
Yes.
7 to 9. 7 to
Yeah.
9 in Delhi.
I'm not sure of the prereqs. I'll check on that and then this thing. Let me connect with you, Jimly, and check
Sure.
on.
Sure.
Yeah, we can work with you on the prereqs if you're interested, and just registering will show you whether you need any or not.
Yeah.
It's within 2 years, some access class with Gary and Dane or the foundation. There's a lot of prereqs you can have that count towards this. Cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Glenna, we'll not grab you for too long. If you could just have a short energy pull for people who are considering the class.
Okay, so let's just expand our energies out thousands of miles in all directions and increase your awareness of your body. The space between the molecules of your body, increase your awareness of that 1,000 times more than you ever imagined possible. And expand out and keep your awareness of your body. And expand out. And then reach out to all those bodies that are loving the idea, that are wishing, that are asking, that are demanding to come to body classes, to have the energies we've spoken about during this call. And pull from the whole universe, through those bodies, through your bodies, through my body, through Access and the advanced in body classes, and then have that energy flow back out into the universe with ease. Turn it up a little, and turn it up a lot. Increase that flow. And it's a flow through you, so it fills you up, fills them up. And it creates a little tug toward the energy that we've been speaking to about bodies. Cool. It's quick. Energy pulls only take a second. It's not like a elongated meditation. I've never been good at meditating. I get bored really quick. So, energy pulls are quick and easy and elegant. All right. Thank you, everyone, for showing up. Oh, one more question, Monish? Yeah?
One more thing is right after the body classes, you're also facilitating the energetic manual.
Yeah, we didn't mention that. Yeah, so my specialty class, EMT, we probably need another Zoom for that. I created it from the energies of the body class and the work I've been doing as a physical therapist, specializing in working with cranial sacral myofascial release work. I've been trained a lot in that. And when Access showed up in my world, I started adding all this cool stuff, the Pod Pocs, the body processes, to my practice, and this other energy began to develop, this other way of working with bodies that was creating way beyond anything I could imagine. So the skills that I use are in this EMT class, the ones that create the greatest results, that anybody can do. There's nothing complicated. You don't need to be a body worker. Are offered in this class, and you will learn skills you can start using with anybody. Depending on your licensing in the country you're in, you might use it in your practice. You can use them on yourself. And you'll get 3 days of extraordinary work for your own body, changing things that you may not have thought were possible. It's a manual therapy. It's energy and manual therapy, so it's hands-on work, changing, targeting the fascia, but we're really working the whole body. It's kind of a trick. And extraordinary changes happen with this class. There's a quick synopsis. Maybe we can do something else before that class. Thank you for everyone for coming on. Thank you for your questions. Thank you, Jim Lee.
Thank you, Glenna.
Taking picture. Taking picture. Smile, please.
Did you get your picture?
Done.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right.
I'd love to see you in Delhi.
Thank you, Glenna. Thank you for your time.
Yes.
Look
Ciao.
forward. Yeah.
Thank
Thank
Bye.
you, everyone. Yeah. Bye.